What's up, guys? How are you? Happy Wednesday. Welcome into another episode of the Daily Juice Podcast with me, Matt Perrault, at Sports Talk Matt. To follow me across all socials. After an 0-1 night last night, the D-backs got throttled by the Mets. We got that bet wrong, and the other bet, we couldn't go 1-1 because that game got rained out between Texas and the White Sox. So just a small 1 unit down or 1.1 unit down night for us on that. But we head towards a Wednesday where, if you're just tuning in, you may not know what I'm doing here. So the last 2 weeks on Wednesday, I have bet golf. This is the last golf tournament to bet on in the PGA Tour season. It starts the silly season after that, and I'm not betting the silly season because the competitiveness really trails off, and it gets to be a much different type of environment. So the Tour Championship is starting at East Lake coming up here on Thursday. These bets start Thursday. Today is Wednesday, so we won't have anything going today because I'm going to give you a college football bet because I'm giving you one college football game every day heading into the week. So we have a Monday, a Tuesday, another bet here on Wednesday for Saturday, and then we'll get into some other plays and picks as well for Thursday, for Friday, for Sunday, for Monday as we roll here with the college football week 1 schedule. So I've got 4 bets in the PGA, doing the same thing I've done the last 2 weeks. We've got 3 half-unit plays and 1 4-round head-to-head half-unit play to give you guys. It's been profitable. It's been fun. So let's keep rolling here with doing this. The Wednesday bets have been profitable both the last 2 weeks. We weren't profitable on Sunday, but that's because we added to the 4th and final round. We were profitable the previous Sunday. We went 2-0. This past Sunday, we went 0-2, so pretty much a wash there, but we'll get into this. The Tour Championship is wonky. I'll tell you about it here in just 1 second, and then I got another bet for us here with a big college football game coming up this weekend. Before I give you the picks, let's just remind you of what's going on with BettingPros right now with what they're calling a Pick 6 tournament, okay? This is against the spread. This is for the NFL. And this is something you guys can join right now if you want to be a part of it. And I know there's a lot of these contests and tournaments that are jumping around, but BettingPros' Pick 6 tournament is a $50 entry. It's a 500 max entry contest. Users will pick 6 games against the spread every week. You get 1 point for every correct pick that you make. Top 3 every week get a payout based upon the number of people entering. The overall yearly contest, the top 25, will get paid out as well. If you want to be a part of this, you must be signed up ahead of week 1 with the NFL. This is an NFL pick show or pick contest. BettingPros.com/splash to get in. BettingPros.com/splash. The BettingPros Pick 6 tournament, $50 to get in, 5 max entries per contestant, 6 games ATS every week, weekly and total year payouts available for anybody who wants to jump into that right now with the BettingPros Pick 6 $50 entry tournament with 6 games against the spread each week in the NFL for 18 weeks. All right, let me set up the Tour Championship. Okay, so here's where we're at. The field begins Thursday at East Lake. Scotty Scheffler is at 10 under par. Why? This is a staggered scoring system based upon the points accumulated. This is for $25 million. Okay, this is a gigantic purse. Scotty Scheffler, 10 under, first place. Xander Schauffele, 8 under, second place. Hideki Matsuyama, 7 under. He has a back injury, by the way. Careful with Matsuyama. Third, Keegan Bradley, off his win last week, 6 under. He's in 4th. And Ludwig Oberg, 5 under. He's in 5th position. After that, we go T6. Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, Wyndham Clark, Sam Burns, Patrick Cantlay. They're all tied for 6th. And tied for 11th is Suni M, Theegala, Lowry, Scott, Finau. Okay? That rounds out your top 11 places. There's only 30 golfers. Okay? We're going to be able to move around fast here. It's going to be kind of wild. An eagle on a hole can swing your whole golf tournament. You can go from 20th to 2nd in this golf tournament, all right? It's going to be wild to see how these swings play out here with East Lake. But let's start with a guy that we have bet on a bunch over the last couple of weeks, Ludwig Oberg, all right? Oberg is a guy I think we have to take a look at with how hot he was. One of the things that he got into in last week's tournament was he was misclubbing like crazy. I watched the whole round. Kept on flying the green. His yardage was all messed up. Why? They were at Mile High. They were in Denver. 8,300-yard course. His yardage book was all messed up. So he got pumped up on Sunday, flew the green constantly. The guy was scrambling like crazy. Great scrambler. I don't know if he has that big of a problem here. Okay? I mean, he's been pretty good at this golf tournament, and he's hot. Top 5, he starts in the top 5. Okay? If he stays there, it's plus 185. And again, these are numbers in Vegas, okay? Your book may have different prices. Shop around. These are the numbers I am betting. You can do what you want with these numbers, but every book may be different. Some books may not offer top 5. Some books may not offer head-to-heads. Just the nature of the beast, okay? Oberg, top 5. He could win this thing. Straight up, he could win this tournament. I really think he could win this tournament. But I think he will get back to where he was. I don't think he'll have the same problems with club selection that he had in the last tournament. He starts 5 under. I mean, he's 5 strokes back of Scotty Scheffler to start the tournament from the get-go. But, I mean, at 5 under par, he's the only guy at 5 under par, and he's currently in 5th place. Oberg, top 5. Half a unit at plus 185 to stay right where he is right there and maybe even come close, and he might win this thing. He's live to win this thing. At 3 under par, let's talk about Shane Lowry and the way Shane Lowry has played. Last week came in 13th at the BMW Championship. Shane Lowry has a chance here, okay? He has 1 top 10 and 2 top 20 finishes over his last 5 tournaments. He's playing well. He is a guy who has finished with a score lower than the tournament average in 3 of his last 5 tournaments. And when it comes to playing the Tour Championship, this is a guy who, in the past 5 years, has not played in this. He's finally made this thing. He's hungry. 13th place of the BMW last week, like I mentioned. He's got a chance here to come in the top 10. Not that hard for him to get into the top 10, given where he is. He's currently at 3 under par, which is 11th. If he rises up into the top 10, Shane Lowry would cash a plus 225 ticket for us. I like a rookie here. Shane Lowry, pumped to be there, wanting to go after it, go out there free and clear and just go shoot. 13th last week, playing well. Shane Lowry, top 10 at plus 225 for a half a unit. Third bet. Let's go back to Adam Scott. He's at 3 under par. I mean, the guy missed so many putts in the last tournament. I mean, he was in the trap all the time. He had a couple. Adam Scott had some sand saves last week that were absolutely gorgeous. I mean, like epic, elite, world-class sand saves last week. He's playing really well. It's the same bet. He came in tied for 25th last year, 2 years ago at the Tour Championship. In 2019, he came in 6th. That was a while ago. So he hasn't made it here in a long time, but he's made it. He took 2nd at the BMW Championship, and he could have won the thing. He was right there, 11 under par for him, and he's got 3 top 10s in his last 5 appearances, and he's come in top 5 in 2 of those outings. He's red hot. 2nd, 18th, 10th, 2nd, his last 4 tournaments for Adam Scott. Top 10 is plus 175 for Adam Scott. I mean, keep on giving me plus money on Adam Scott to come in the top 10. Again, top 30, great competition, but top 10, ties included. Remember, ties must be included here. Adam Scott, plus 175, half a unit to come in the top 10 at the Tour Championship. Okay, so 3 bets for 4 rounds. We're going Oberg, top 5. That's plus 185. Lowry, top 10. That's plus 225. And Adam Scott, top 10. That's plus 175. Half unit plays. Now, one head-to-head. Let's talk about Suni M. We've been backing him a bunch here during the playoffs. He is now a member of the President's Cup team. He is a guy who was the co-runner-up in 2022 at East Lake. He's a guy who averaged 4 birdies per round, 12th best on tour, and he's got a legitimate shot to win this thing. All right? M is 3 under, tied for 11th at the moment. He's in a head-to-head up against Tony Finau. Tony Finau is also at 3 under par, but Tony Finau is a little bit of a concern for me. 13th, 16th, and 12th. Not awful. Missed the cut at the Open Championship. But in terms of his history at the Tour Championship, last year, 20th. Shot 70, 68, 70, 68. 4 under par. He's 3 under to start the tournament. In 2022, came in 9th at 11 under par. In 21, 11th, shot even par. In 2020, 17th. If we get Sungjae Im into the top 10, I think he beats Tony Finau in a head-to-head. In fact, as I said, I think Im is live to win this thing. I don't think Tony Finau is live to win this thing. So he hasn't been great at this golf tournament. He's been okay. Hasn't gone super low in this golf tournament. The lowest round he's had dating back to 2018 is a 66. He did that in 2022. He did that in 2020. I mean, is Finau going to get out there and do that again? I don't know. I mean, again, he shot 70, 73, 72, 68. Played well on Sunday at the BMW, but still came in tied for 13th. 16th for the FedEx. 4 rounds in the 60s, not bad. But again, I think Im is a guy who knows this golf tournament really well, who can attack this golf tournament because of this golf course, because he's used to playing at this golf course. And it just sets up really well for him. I don't think he has any pressure here to go out there, and he can just fire at pins and play loose. And starting at 3 under par, I like it a lot for him to potentially have, a huge opportunity to win this thing. I think he could win this thing. And we backed him a bunch over the last couple of days. He came in 24th last year, following the second appearance in 2022. 16 under in 2022. He shot 67, 65, 66, 66 in 2022. Ripped apart this golf tournament. Hopefully he gets back to that type of performance because he's been playing really well. 11th, 40th, 41st, but 7th, 4th, 12th, and 3rd, dating back to the Travelers Championship after missing the cut at the U.S. Open. Head-to-head, 4 rounds. Bet it to win a half a unit at minus 125. Sungjae Im over Tony Finau at minus 125 for bet it to win a half a unit. So essentially it's what, 0.61 units or so to bet that to win a half a unit. Okay? So 4 bets for the Tour Championship. We're betting all of them to win a half a unit. There's 3 plus money bets in 1 bet we're laying juice. Top 5, Oberg, plus 185. Lowry, top 10, plus 225. And Adam Scott, top 10, at plus 175. Bet a half a unit there to come in with those plays. 2 units plus or so in play for a 4-round event. Then the head-to-head, Sungjae Im over Tony Finau, again, to win a half a unit. So those are your 4 bets going into East Lake here, which starts on Thursday. Okay, so we'll have a ton of stuff going this weekend. We'll have all this college football. We'll have the Tour Championship to watch. I mean, golf and football, just a tremendous thing. So let's talk football. I've given you the Clemson-Georgia game. We talked about I like the dog in that game. I like an alternative number in that game. I think it's going to be fun to see how that all plays out. I have another big game to talk about, and it involves Penn State and West Virginia. So let's talk weather forecast for a second. Thunderstorms and an 80% chance to rain in Morgantown, West Virginia. The total is 51.5, and it hasn't moved. Hasn't moved at all. When you start looking at Penn State, defensively, they should be tremendous. But where is their offense? They killed West Virginia last year at home. This game's in Morgantown. The number was as high as 10.5. It's been bet down to 8.5. Everyone is on West Virginia. Everyone. I can't really deal it at the moment. I can't really jump in with the masses on this. I'm a little bit skeptical of West Virginia's ability to keep this game close. But I do think they can do something defensively. And I do think if the rain comes, Penn State will look to run the football. And I think just given the way that James Franklin has been, I think he may be kind of conservative. And I don't think he'll be looking to run the score up. I don't think he'll be looking to just put this. 51.5 is the total. And I think we got a decent shot at going under here in this game. If you can find a 52 out there, that would be tremendous. 51.5 is the best number I could find here in Vegas. On the road last year, Penn State was 3-3. At home, West Virginia also was 3-3. So there's nothing really to glean from that. But I think West Virginia's offensive line is going to be a pretty good test for Penn State. I think this is going to be a fun battle. I don't think we're going to see either offense just completely open up and start throwing the ball all over the place. That's not really Drew Aller's strength from a Penn State perspective. Penn State did score 34 points per game, and West Virginia scored 29.4 points per game, but Penn State's defense only gave up 14 points per game. I don't think West Virginia wants to get into a shootout here at all. I think this is a tight game. This is like a 28-20 type football game. Low scoring, tight, rain comes into play. I think, weather could be an issue. I think the reason why the total hasn't moved, I think it's because people are waiting to see the final weather forecast. We're still a couple days away. It's only Wednesday, so we're a couple days away from the game actually being played. I lean towards West Virginia because everyone's on West Virginia. So if I like the dog and under, right? I mean, it seems to be a similar refrain, dog and under. I think Penn State's just going to play tight, close to the vest. I don't think West Virginia is going to throw the ball all over the place and look to get themselves. They're going to look to run the football. I mean, West Virginia ran the ball 62% of the time last year. That was sixth best in the country. Penn State ran the ball 53% of the time. That was also near the top 50 of the country. Passing the football, West Virginia, they only threw the ball 37% of the time last year. Now, different year, game one, but just from a philosophy standpoint, I don't think West Virginia at home is going to look to get into a shootout with Penn State. I think they'd rather keep it low scoring, play defense, run the football. I think both teams want to run the ball and play defense. I'm going to go under 51.5. Penn State and West Virginia for 1.1 units. And look, we're going to be in for a lot of really fun games here this coming weekend, and I don't know how many bets I'll have. I mean, there may, I don't know. There's 3, 5, 6. I don't want to go completely and totally overboard and just like start betting on like everything. But I think that there are some real opportunities here to jump on games and be excited. I mean, obviously 1 versus 14 is a monster game, and a lot of people are going to be watching this and being excited about 1 versus 14 in Clemson and Georgia. But Penn State, West Virginia is going to have a ton of eyeballs. People are going to be jumping up and down about watching these teams go at it and see. And Penn State could make the playoffs. It's not crazy. I mean, Penn State, how many Big Ten teams make the playoffs? You guys know how I feel about Iowa, and Iowa's over Iowa's win total. So, I mean, I like Iowa. I can't wait to bet Iowa coming up here. It's going to be fun, but it should be a lot of fun. This is going to be a great college football year. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt every morning. Daily Juice Podcast presented by BettingPros.com.